The Panama Canal is to return to US control, said Donald Trump. Why? Because they're being nasty to us. Big tariffs, he says, with his tiny hands. By any means necessary, he says. Well, he has kind of implied he wants to take Canada as the 51st state. And he did once say that he wanted to buy Greenland, which was rebuffed quite quickly. But anyway, before I get into this madness, be most kind and boop the old like button and maybe subscribe to the channel and the little bell icon just there, because then you get one fuzzy thing in your pocket every time I upload another video. And if you want to support the channel, you can do it on Patreon or buy us a coffee, and the links are down below. It keeps the channel alive, you know. It also helps me feed my dogs and get them medication. When dogs get old, they get expensive, you know. But I love them, so there you go. Well, what the heck has been going on? Oh, for God's sake. I can't believe I'm doing another one like this. It's just... It's I know some people say, oh, not another flippin' Donald Trump video. But it's got to be said, this is coming to a living room near you, you know? You can have Donald Trump all the flippin' while. And the damage he's going to cause to other countries is going to be horrendous. But also to the United States. The man is dangerous. So we need to speak about this stuff. It's not just about what goes on in the United States. What happens in the United States happens everywhere else. You know that they say, don't they? You know, if they sneeze in the United States, we all catch a cold. So it is relevant. It really is. And we need to take note. So Trump is threatening to retake control of the Panama Canal unless a deal is reached. Well, you see, the thing about the Panama the canal, it was well, it was pretty much built by the US years and years ago, and for a period of time they controlled it, what have you. Then there was like dual control between the US and Panamanians, and back in there's a deal struck. There was in 1977, and then it got handed back to the to Panama. Got handed over to Panama in, I think it's 1999, I think it was. Now, the control currently is managed by subsidiaries of China. So it's they are negotiating the rates within themselves. And the rates have gone up and up and up and up and up. But you know what happens, don't you? If you don't maintain these things like canals, main shipping routes, well, you end up with problems like, I don't know, the Suez Canal, where you have the evergreen container ship that jackknives and gets stuck on a sandbank. that kind of thing, you know. A bit of dredging occasionally, you might, I don't know if they do. Do they dredge the Panama Canal? Well, it's a built, wasn't it? I imagine there's a bit of sludge down the bottom there. Probably a little bunker fuel sort of festering at the bottom there. You can imagine how dirty that Panama Canal is. It must be disgusting. There are all more fish there. And eat that fish, I tell you. You know, these ships, they the fuel in these ships is like treacle. Because the jets on these, on these big old diesels are so big, they can have really thick fuel, and it's disgusting. It's fuel you can't use anymore. It's not refined. You might just put crude oil in. So that's bunker fuel for you. But anyway, Trump said that he will not let the canal fall into the wrong hands. Okay, I don't know what he means by that. He's talking about China. And Trump accused Panama of charging excessive fees to use the canal. And US handed over control. It was 1999. Okay, so speaking to a crowd of supporters in Arizona on Sunday, Donald Trump also said that he would not let the canal fall into the wrong hands, warning of potential Chinese influence on the passage. Oh my Gideon, that sounds saucy. You really do not want to have Chinese influence on the passage, at least the small, okay? Stereotypically. China did not control or administer the canal, no. But subsidiary of Hong Kong-based CK Hutchison Holdings. Now, don't forget, China literally just, well, took back Hong Kong recently, didn't they? You know, because the UK was flipping flaccid. Anyway, they have long managed two ports located on the Caribbean and Pacific entrances to the canal. Now, Trump's comments came hours after he levelled a similar threat against Panama, a post on Truth Social on Saturday night. Has anyone heard of the Panama Canal, he said? I can't do a Trump voice. How do you do a Trump voice? Is that do you slur a lot and don't have any spaces? You don't breathe, do you, between sentences, if there's a sentence? Trump said on Sunday at American Fest, an annual event organised by Turning Point, an allied conservative group, because we're being ripped off at the Panama Canal. We're being ripped off everywhere else. Yeah, he thinks everyone's... they're not... No one's deliberately trying to rip the United States off. It's a load of bollocks. It really is. So Trump's comments were an exceedingly rare example of US leader saying he could push a sovereign country to hand over territory. How? No, how? How is he going to do that? Panama is not the United States. I've been to Panama. Anyway, it also underlines an expected shift in US diplomacy under Trump, who has not historically shied away from threatening allies using bellicose rhetoric when dealing with counterparts. Yes. Tariffs is a lovely word, but I suppose it didn't really much in the way of tariffs he could apply to Panama to that degree. I don't know actually what they actually sell to the United States. They probably sell something like drugs. The fees being charged to Panama are ridiculous. By Panama, are highly unfair, Trump said. It was given to Panama and the people of Panama, but it has provisions. You get to treat us fairly, and they haven't treated us fairly, he said. If the principles, both moral and legal, of this magnanimous gesture of giving are not followed, then we will demand that Panama Canal be returned to us in full, quickly, and without question. How? By force? Because that's what it'll take. They ain't going to give it back to you. The man's he's a lunatic. He's just going to make everything worse for everybody. And that's all he's going to be interested in doing. Anything that puts him in the news, that's what he wants. He's dangerous. He's a dangerous man. Well, there's been quite a bit of kickback from this, from Panamanians, politicians and what have you. And basically been criticising Trump's statements and what have you. Obviously, you know, and the government in Panama hasn't actually responded as yet. Oh, God, it's Donald Trump, probably, you know. He always says things like that. It's always the same, you know. This is what Donald Trump's doing. Oh, dear me. He ain't even in office yet, and we're already having to deal with this stuff. It's definitely a brainworm, isn't it? It's got to be, isn't it? It's a brainworm. I reckon so. For God's sake. You tell me, leave in the comments down below. Oh, there. Don't forget people I like, bun. Doodaloo.